Hey, welcome back. So today we're going to be doing a few DIYs with scrap fabric, but before we get started, do not forget to like and subscribe. All right, so let's get into this. So I have a bunch of scrap fabric laying around, and I wanted to do a few quick, simple projects that anyone can do. So for this first one, it is fabric coasters. So you can make coasters out of any fabric that you might have around. And this one is cute because you can customize it with little like kind of embroidery like details, but without having an embroidery machine. I did mine about 4 inches, but when you cut them, you're gonna have to cut them a bit bigger because you'll need the seam allowance. I only cut mine about 4.5 inches and then did a narrow type seam. I measured out on the fabric the biggest width that I can find because I wanted to make at least two, and for each one you're going to need 2 pieces. So for each one you're going to cut 2 of the squares. Like I said, I did mine about 4.5 inches, and then you're going to just basically sew them together. So here I'm just trying to find the widest point on the fabric so that I can get at least 2 from this fabric. Once I did that, I just basically folded it over and evened out, because you can see it's uneven because these are old like joggers, and so the pant leg goes in and what have you and stuff. But once I had the 4 squares I needed to make the 2, then I went on to the next step. So once you have your pieces and they're facing right side to right side, what I did was just take a pen and drew out a rough drawing of a mug. You could draw anything but try to make it as simple as possible because you're going to be doing the design with the machine. So you're going to have to be able to do the curves and the turns and stuff. So you don't want to make it too detailed, but I drew out my best drawings of 2 mugs on each one, and then I went over to the machine. Okay, this was the best angle I can get of it. You're gonna see a lot of hand, but I just wanted to show you. I'm using the smallest zigzag stitch, so I went with a 2, and you're just gonna go down. You can take your time and go as slow as you like. You're just gonna go down the lines you drew, and as you get to certain points, you'll put your needle down, turn and pivot, and then come back into the thing, and you could just keep going continuously based on the design that you have. But you see, for the most part here, I was able to go around without removing the fabric from the machine until I got to the mug handle. So I just kept turning and gently tugging, not too hard because you don't want the stitches to skip and then have big gaps. But you also can go over it multiple times if you wanted a thicker one, but I just went over it one time because you can see the detail on the other side, and that was good for me. And you can see one came out wonky, one did not, but it doesn't have to be perfect. And I think the more practice you get with it, the better you'll get at it. But I think this is cute, and a cute way to customize your own personal little fabric coasters. And once you're done, you sew them right side to right side, leave a little opening, turn them the right way out, and then top stitch. All right, so here's the next one. This is a fabric bracelet. So with this one, you're going to measure out, I would go with a double around whatever your wrist is, so that you have this space to cut off the extra and to be able to slip in and out of it. So I cut 3 different strips, and I cut them about, I think, 2.5 inches wide, and then I'm just going to face them right side to right side. You can see one of them I didn't have enough, so I sewed 2 pieces together, but you do it right side to right side. When you're done, then you turn them the right way out, and then I just sewed all 3 pieces together just to keep them attached. For this part, you're going to need something to clip it to so that you can braid it and it doesn't flop around like that did there. I tried to do it with my little sign there. That was not heavy enough, so I had to find something else to clip it through and then finish the braid. Once you're done with the braid, then you can just measure it around your hand again and make sure you'll be able to get in and out of it. Once you have that measurement, then you'll just cut off the extra. I just cut off the extra on the side that I didn't sew closed in the beginning, and then you're just going to go back over it and close it up. I used hot glue, but you can use fabric glue. You can go back over it. You can sew it if you want. You can hand stitch it down, but I just used some hot glue to close it off because it's a bracelet and you don't need to wash it or anything. So I think this will hold up, and that is it. And then you'll have a bracelet. All right, so for this next one, these are the little fabric bows. You see these all over. You see these on like high-end websites, and they usually do them in like leather, and they're cute. I did mine with like a vegan leather, but you can use whatever you want. I did 9-inch squares, and what I did was just sew the pieces right side to right side, and then at the bottom you see I had a felt piece to make it just a little bit stiffer. I left an opening to turn it the right way out. Once I turned it the right way out, then I went over with a top stitch. Because this is two different colors, what I did was I put one color for the bobbin underneath and one color for the thread up top, so that the two colors would match up with the fabrics. Then I went in about 1.5 inches on each corner and pinched it off, and that's it. And then your bowl will start to take its shape. If you're not going to use the little felt piece in the middle, I advise using thicker fabrics for both pieces so that it holds up and it doesn't like flop around. Once you have your little corners pinned off there, then you're just going to need a few stitches. You're not going to need that many to keep it in place. I did a few stitches, and you can see with the 9-inch one, it's quite a big bowl. So if you want it, you can go smaller. Okay, for this one, it's real simple. It is a hair bow thing that you put on your little elastic bands. I went with a 10 by 5 rectangle shape. I didn't use a pattern. What I did was just cut a curve and made the shape, because you're going to need it to look I'm trying to think of what it looks like. I don't know, but you just cut a shape. So you come in at the point, and then you'll go in and you'll leave a wide enough opening in the middle piece when it's folded over, so that it looks like this when you open it up. So that's it. And I just sharpened up the corners, but not too much. And that's what you'll do. And then when you open it up, it looks like that. And see, it's thick in the middle. This was a stiff fabric. That's why I went so big, because you can see it's like bigger than my hand. If you have a more limp type fabric, I think you don't need to go this big, but I didn't have a print that I liked to do it like that. So you sew it up all the way around and leave a little opening in the middle center part, because that's the straightest part, and it'll be easier to top stitch and turn it that way. You open it up, and then you're going to top stitch along that opening there, and it's basically done. You'll take your elastic tie, put it through, and tie it in a knot, and then you have a cute little hair bow. You can do this in a bunch of different colors, and this doesn't take that much fabric at all. So this is another great way to use your extra scraps that you might have around. Okay, so for this last one, it is a bow tie. I did a bigger video on the bow ties and different ones, so I'll put the link for that below for you can see. But this is just another one that you can use your scrap fabrics for. What I did was cut the piece for the bow tie. I cut the piece for the little piece that'll be in the middle that'll bring the bow tie together, and then these straps. You're going to fold over your bow tie piece and sew that straight along the top and one side, and then you're going to do the same thing for the piece that goes in the middle. So once you have those two pieces and you turn them the right way out with the bow tie, then you're going to top stitch. You're going to fold in the raw edges and top stitch over that, and then that will be the part for your bow tie. And then you're going to come back over that piece with the little centerpiece that you'll have there that'll make the bow tie shape, and then that'll be the main part for the bow tie. And just to mention, if I didn't before, all of these scrap DIYs are super simple, super easy, and you can do them in like 10 minutes, or some of them even less than 10 minutes. And it's a great way to use your scraps and to make something cute, you know? So you find the center of the bow tie and you put that piece over it and then pinch it, and then you're going to sew over that to close up the bow tie shape. And make sure you don't go over the actual bow tie piece, because you want that piece to be a bit loose so that you'll be able to later then slide your strap piece through that hole. But that's it for that part. So for here, I had started out and I was going to do a strap on each side. And for your neck, you'll just measure around your neck and then you'll add a little extra. And of course, you'll do the seam allowance. I was going to do 2 different straps and then have them connect. But then I realized it would be easier just to go through with 1 strap. So I sewed it the same way. I sewed the other pieces straight across and then down one side, flipped it the right way out, folded in the raw edges and top stitched, and then I took that long strap and slid it through the little center piece there, and then that's basically it for the bow tie there. And then you'll just close it off with whatever closure you might have. If you have Velcro, I'm going to use a snap. You can use a little hook thing. And if you wanted to, you can also do these bow ties even without the strap and just make them little clip-on bow ties too. All right, so that's it for using your scraps. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give it a big old thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.